Well, hey, welcome back for another video. Today we're going to take a look at another alternate model based off of this set. This is the Starship Collection Millennium Falcon set number 75375. And again, there are a lot of different alternate models out there from this set, and so I used the pieces from this Millennium Falcon, not all of them, as you'll see here soon, but I used a lot of them to change this into this. So this is the AT-ST Walker that I tried to model as best as I could off of one of my favorite Star Wars movies, and that is Episode 6, the Return of the Jedi. And so, yeah, as you can kind of see, this is quite a bit different than some of the other alternate models that I've built, from this Millennium Falcon set. Most of those I try to kind of keep within similar scale to this Millennium Falcon. Again, this is like what they call like the MIDI scale size, and so it's not quite minifigure scale, but it's also not like a tiny build. This is quite a bit different. This is a little bit closer to minifigure scale, and you can kind of see here's my old school biker scout from when I was a kid, but he kind of gives at least a little bit of understanding of like the size of this thing. It's closer to minifigure scale, maybe a little bit larger than in real life, but at least it's close, And I think the size of this, again, kind of allowed me to, well, for one, kind of capture as many of the details as I could from the actual, set model from the movie. But also, again, if you've never built an alternate model before, you're only using the pieces from this set. So I had to use pieces from a Millennium Falcon and try to figure out how to get those, to be able to become these kind of skinny legs, but they had to be sturdy enough and also have the right angle and look right, and so that was a challenge, and so it was a little bit easier at this scale, and it was obviously a lot of fun to do. Now the only problem is that these legs, because I had to use other pieces that weren't really made to build this, that they're static. They kind of stand still. There's no articulation in the legs and the feet. Again, it's sturdy enough. There's a little bit of give, but it kind of just holds as is. I was able to kind of capture the actual angles that I was hoping to from the legs, and I think it looks pretty similar to the actual set model. Same with the feet and things like that. The body part was a lot of fun, especially this whole section, the back. I tried to capture as much of the details and greebling as I could. From the actual set models, if you look online, you can kind of see like there are these kind of like engines or thrusters. I don't really know exactly what this is in the back, but try to capture that as well as some of the greebling and detail here and in the very back of the cockpit head, which does spin around all the way around if you really want to. Again, try to capture as much of the details with these guns or radars or whatever these things are, to the front. Again, there is some articulation, but not a ton. This is maybe a bit more of a display model versus an actual play model. Now, I will say though, you actually can put a minifigure inside the cockpit. There is a little seat for one minifigure. The problem is, at least how I built this, because I was trying to focus more on stability and strength for it and trying to capture the detail. Again, this does open up only up to like here. So it's a little bit tricky. You kind of have to pull off a side panel to get access into the cockpit to be able to put a minifigure in there. So that kind of is a little bit difficult, although I'm sure with like a little bit of modification, if you really wanted to, you could make this a little bit more of a play scale kind of type model, where there's a little bit more access for us, with our big hands to be able to put minifigures in there. But at least the way I did it, I kind of chose to focus a little bit more on the display side of things. And so that kind of included the, capturing the right angles, the windows, all of that stuff, even the cockpit hatch up here. That's just for show. It doesn't actually open up. But overall, though, I'm really happy with how this turned out. It's fun. It's been stable. Again, I've had it on my desk for a couple months now, standing like this, and so far so good. It hasn't like tipped over or anything like that. I haven't knocked it over and broke anything, so that's good. And again, it was kind of fun to be able to create something a little bit more at like minifigure scale, and that kind of captures again what the actual model in universe, in movie, looks like. And finally, before we wrap up, a lot of people often ask, how many extra pieces are there after building these alternate models. And so again, this is the alternate ATSD model, and here are all of the pieces that are left over from the Millennium Falcon that I did not use for this model. So quite a few pieces left over. Again, they're all kind of spread out over this cookie pan, but hopefully that's helpful for some of you who want to know. Anyway, if you are interested in building this model or checking out some of my other alternate models based on this Millennium Falcon set, you can find them on my Rubricable site, which should be in the description or comments below. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Please hit like and subscribe, especially if you like taking official Lego sets, breaking them apart, and using imagination to make new creations and new models. That's what I'm all about here on this channel. So thank you again so much for watching. Until next time, happy building.